Welcome back for another video. Transfer plans and team selection for Gameweek 25. Let's discuss everything we learned from the games this weekend to take into next game week. Saka injured, Ekitike and João Pedro great options again, and how should we approach double Gameweek 26? Leave a comment below of how your game week's going. So Arsenal responded really convincingly to last week's loss. 4-0 away win over Leeds. Only 0.15 expected goals conceded, defensive masterclass. Goals from Zubimendi, Gyökeres, Jesus and a Darlow own goal. But the headline was obviously Saka's injury, so he pulled up during the warm-up, and Arteta said the following. In the warm-up, he had a little niggle, he wasn't comfortable starting the game, so immediately we made the decision to make that change and bring Noni in, and he was ready because you cannot do that in 2 minutes. The way he prepared, the way he's waiting for the opportunity, I think it paid off today because he really impacted the team. Obviously really awkward timing so soon, right before a potential double Gameweek 26 for Arsenal. We'll have to see if he makes Gameweek 25 first, and obviously they've got the League Cup midweek before then as well. You could make a case for holding on to him, given Arteta said it's a small one. You know, like if he just misses Gameweek 25 and he's back for the double, then it's only one game. Though Rice is obviously a very good replacement if you've got Saka and not Rice. No need to go early anyway, just wait for further news, and obviously there's that League Cup game on Tuesday, at the very least wait for that. Gabriel hit DEFCON for an 8-pointer. Frustratingly for Saka owners as well, Madueke had 2 assists by half time. He ended up on 11 points. What could have been? Another what could have been moment, at least in my team anyway. Mane putting Wolves ahead just a few minutes into their home game against Bournemouth. It was Mane coming off my bench for Saka. He made a fantastic run from deep, showing his pace, but the ball in before that was just marginally offside, so no goal. And it was Krupi who was the winner of the battle of the budget forwards, scoring an unbelievable goal on the half volley from outside the box, which dipped in past Sarr. A clean sheet and DEFCON for Senesi. 12.96 DEFCONs per 90 is a league leading total among defenders, as is his 83% success rate. Last season, Tarkowski's 66% success was top in the league, which shows how insane Senesi's been for DEFCONs, and they've got a very good fixture run, so it's a nice pick for 4.8 mil. 3.9 mil Hill started again for Bournemouth, and he's got potential to be a real budget pick to consider there. He might not be totally nailed, you know, if he has a bad game at some point, maybe Diakite comes in for example, but he does look good. Rodon and Alderete are some good alternatives that are definitely nailed and about the same price. But yeah, Hill's great if he keeps starting. Mane actually did have a pretty good game, 0.62 XGI, so I don't think that Krupi goal is the nail in the coffin just yet for Mane. Unless Wolves don't get the double Gameweek 26, then yeah, Mane's appeal does drop a lot. Again, we're going to know Tuesday night if Mane will double in Gameweek 26, and obviously Wolves as well. If we compare the two, since Mane broke into the starting 11 in Gameweek 18, Mane's taken 15 more shots than Krupi. He's got a higher expected assist. They've got about the same XG. Krupi is just such a class finisher though, and he's just taking his chance as well. Data table here is from Scout comparing the two. Use the link below to get a 50% discount on membership, and you can access all my tables and the other benefits in the members area. A quick double Gameweek 26 recap. So Arsenal are 3-2 up from the first leg against Chelsea, and if they knock them out, Arsenal and Wolves will have a confirmed double Gameweek 26. Arsenal would have Brentford away and Wolves away. Wolves would have Forest away and Arsenal home. If Chelsea were to turn it around, then they will double against Leeds home, Everton away, and Everton's confirmed double will be Bournemouth home and Chelsea home. If you're new to FPL, double game weeks are huge because you get the points from both games in your team. So let's say you captain Gabriel and he gets a clean sheet in both games and he scores in one of the games, then that would be a 21 pointer or potentially more of DEFCON. So you're talking about 42 points from a captain there in that scenario. And lastly, whoever gets a double Gameweek 26 will blank in Gameweek 31. No league game for them that week, so you're going to want to get rid of your blankers that week. I'm aiming to save a chip in Gameweek 31 rather than free hit. The strategy that I like is to dead end your team by selling the Gameweek 31 blankers and then wildcard in Gameweek 32 to attack the final run. Chelsea were 2-0 down to West Ham at half time, and Rosini made a few changes. He benched James, João Pedro and Karaj, and it was a really poor first half performance. Understandable when they played Napoli away in the Champions League a few days prior, and Rosini said they literally got in at 5 AM after that coming back. But yeah, he made the changes at half time. João Pedro with a goal, Karaj a goal, and an Enzo winner right at the end. Chelsea have won a Premier League game in which they've been 2+ goals behind at half time for the first time ever, and that was the 57th occasion. Enzo got a yellow card for taking his shirt off for celebrating the winner, but he still managed to clinch 2 bonus points for back-to-back 8-pointers. He's returned in 5 of his last 6 game weeks. You get extra BPS, by the way, if you score a winning goal, so that secured the 2 bonus for him. My prediction was a João Pedro benching, so I didn't fancy going there myself, but he certainly made me look daft with that 10-pointer from the bench. And he's got to be in the conversation. He's one of the best picks for the next 3 game weeks. Wolves away, Burnley home, Leeds home. You'd expect he'll start against Arsenal in the Cup after the benching, but I could still see him starting all those next 3 league games as well, which is quite frightening as a non-owner. So who's got the best long-term fixtures? We're looking at the next 6 game weeks here. Obviously in isolation, Chelsea have got the best next 3. But Man City are top for the next 6. But obviously right now it just feels like we're struggling to trust any City attackers. I mean, besides Haaland, Semenyo probably looks the best. Liverpool's second on the ticker. So although Ekitike has got Man City next, I think he's got to be worth considering holding on to now. After City, Liverpool have got Sunderland, Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Spurs. Arsenal are third, and then it's Chelsea, and then it's Bournemouth, Man United and Palace. And for projected clean sheets, Arsenal top still, and then it's Liverpool second. And it's a similar situation to Ekitike with Van Dijk, so I'm just going to hold on to Van Dijk. And maybe I should have done the same with Ekitike. Man City are third, Guehi and Nunes at the best defensive assets, and then it's Chelsea, then it's Bournemouth, Fulham and Palace. If you'd like to play around with the projections ticker and all the other tools, you can adjust stuff like Gameweek ranges on here, you can sort by rotation, and all the other FPL tools. Go to FPL.page or search FPL Focal in the App Store. It's 77p per week to become a subscriber and support the ongoing project. A 4-1 win for Liverpool over Newcastle thanks to an Ekitike brace in the first half, plus goals from Wirtz and an emotional 4th goal there for Konate on his return after needing some time off for a family bereavement. That's 6 goals in the last 10 games for Wirtz in all comps, plus a few assists in there. He's actually looking fantastic lately after a lot of criticism early in the season. Ekitike and Wirtz have combined for 6 goals in all competitions this season. That's more than any other Premier League duo. Defcon points for Van Dijk again, and it was Gordon who of course wiped the clean sheet. By this point I think most people had already sold him or benched him. Did any of you Saka owners get any good auto subs this week? Man United's game versus Fulham at Old Trafford ended up a very dramatic game. So it was Cunha who came in for Dorgu, that was the change as we thought. It was Casemiro who got the first goal, then it was Cunha, then a Jimenez penalty, and then Kevin off the bench with a weldy in the 91st minute from the edge of the box, and it looked like he'd sealed the point for Fulham, only for a moment of brilliance from Bruno in the 94th minute, dummy in a ball which gave him a bit of space down the wing to basically whip it in to Sesko, who on the turn bagged the winner. Bruno shot up to 2 bonus points as well, so a 10-pointer for him. A frustrating blank as an Mbumo owner myself, but I am actually taking some encouragement from the fact that he did stay on to the 96th minute this time. It was Yoro that came on for him straight after the goal to help seal the 3 points. Before Dorgu's injury, it was Cunha coming on for Mbumo if you recall, but instead this time it was Sesko coming on for Cunha at 74 minutes. So yeah, I still think Mbumo is going to be a great pick, especially if he does carry on getting 90 plus minutes. Well played Bruno captainers. In other news, Nico Williams got a red card for saving a shot on the line, straight red card, and Sarr ended up scoring the resulting penalty anyway as Forest drew 1-1 with Palace. He really shouldn't have handballed it right before half time. Maybe if it was the 90th minute you would have understood, but yeah, red card, penalty still scored. Anderson got his usual defcon, and he actually got max bonus as well for a 7-pointer. 7 points he got with no goal involvements. And Garner got his usual defcon as well. 5.5 mil gross with a 12-pointer against Everton after scoring Brighton's only goal. Sharda also got a red card. It literally was like a minute after Nico's. It was for violent conduct, his one. So he's going to be suspended for 3 games. He finishes on -2 points. We're not going to see him till Gameweek 28 now. Despite the red card, Villa still couldn't beat them and actually lost ultimately to a Dango goal when they were a man up against them. Watkins not in the squad for Villa. Abraham made his debut and he missed a big chance and he actually had a goal ruled out. So yeah, and then it was Spurs and Man City finishing the weekend 2-2 draw. Cherki and Semenyo scoring for City. Haaland did get an assist for the Cherki goal. That's followed up by a Solanke brace. Really poor result for City against a pretty bare-bones Spurs side as well, who seem to continue to be their bogey team. With Doku and Savinho both out injured currently, I think Semenyo looks a great option as another route into City's attack. So onto the team selection and transfer plans for Gameweek 25. I'm lined up with Raya, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Anderson, Bruno, Lafay, Saka, Enzo, and Bumo, Haaland and Thiago. On the bench, Dubravka, O'Reilly, Mane and Mukiele. So the risk I took spending 2 transfers last week on Mane and Mbumo was the bench was going to have some bad fixtures this week. Plus, I've got Lafay facing Arsenal, who needs fixing. So I couldn't afford to have any issues. And of course, Saka pulls up injured before the game week had even begun. So starting to regret that. Obviously, I'm going to have to keep an eye out for further news. Like, will he be in the League Cup squad? Or if not, will he train before Gameweek 25? Or is he out for that game or longer? If Saka's out, then it's going to have to be a straight swap to Rice to retain the Arsenal triple up. Unless, obviously, if Arsenal don't double in Gameweek 26. If Chelsea end up doubling in Gameweek 26, then I can actually afford Saka to Palmer with exact money, though I could be priced out by Tuesday. That scenario would be really bad, though, because I've only got one Chelsea asset and no Everton. It would have to be something like Van Dijk to Chalobah or Tarkowski in Gameweek 26, maybe even a hit for Ndai. However, the bookies' odds have got Arsenal around 90% likely, given that they've got that 1-goal head start and they're playing at the Emirates. So let's see. An Arsenal double game week would be much more preferred since I've already got the 3 Arsenal plus Mane. There's a few ifs and buts in my team, so just to summarise, if Saka's out and Arsenal double in Gameweek 26, then Saka to Rice. If Chelsea double in Gameweek 26, then Saka to Palmer. If Saka's fine and Arsenal double, then the original move that I'd penciled in was Lafay to Anderson, which I've also got exact money for. He's not the most exciting pick, but he's the best in the league for DEFCONs, Anderson, and those 4 and 5 pointers do add up. I've only got 1 free transfer, so I'd really like to start rolling as well. I think it's weeks like these that really show the power of having rolled transfers. You know, sometimes there's just no clear obvious move, and spending transfers for the sake of having them can actually really cost you long term. Like, it'd be absolute chaos if Saka's out and Chelsea end up doubling. That's the least likely scenario, but anything's possible. I'm going to be back on Monday with the players to buy video, along with my team selection on Wednesday, the experts Thursday and Tom's team on Friday. Make sure you're subscribing so you don't miss out. See you soon for the next one.